I think I mentioned it in the last video to you guys, but we not only have Tennessee lakes, but we have lakes pretty much all across the United States now. We're starting to get quite a few lakes put out there. It takes a while to break these things down. So if you've requested a lake, my apologies if you don't see it out there yet, but hopefully we will get to that one soon. But you can see over here on the left-hand side, Simplistic Fishing, we've got stuff in Alabama, lots of lakes in Alabama, lots of them or one in Arizona, handful in Arkansas. We got a couple in Illinois, Indiana. Our big states, obviously, are Texas. Texas is where we're from. So we've got almost every lake in Texas broke down. And Tennessee, believe it or not, is starting to become a pretty big state for all the different lakes that we have broke down. So we're really focused on Tennessee right now. So if you do fish other lakes in Tennessee other than Cherokee, check them out. They're out there on the site, simplisticfishing.com. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this breakdown and see what we can find for Cherokee. Now, if you missed the last time, let me go ahead and zoom in here to Cherokee so we can get on here and see what we're looking at. And if you missed the last videos that we did, we really focused on this upper end. So way up here on the upper end is what we focused on. So today what we're going to do is we have already finished the upper end. So this would be the upper section. We finished that. So today what we're going to do is we're going to focus on this mid section. So let me highlight this for you. And this is the area that we're going to focus on today. So basically all in here, we'll pick a starting spot and then we're just going to work our way up and make our way around almost like a big circle. So this is the mid section. If you're wondering how we have it broke down, we've got the lower section down here, which is a huge section. We've got all of that broken down here. We're going to go through those in more videos as we continue this breakdown for Cherokee. Then we've also got that upper section that I talked about a minute ago. That's up here. And then again, on these next couple of videos, we're going to focus on this mid section for Cherokee. So that's what we're going to do today. So before we do anything, first what we're going to do is go over here to the left-hand side, and I'll show you guys how we have this lake broke down because it's a little bit different. You know, a lot of these lakes, you'll see us do offshore hotspots, but on lakes like this where they actually draw the water down a ton, we can pretty much expose the offshore stuff because of that. So you might not see the offshore hotspots on here, but trust me, there's offshore stuff out here. It's just going to depend on the water level of the lake, obviously. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. We've got channels and ditches. That's going to be anywhere you see green tracks. Now, there's not a lot on this one. There's a few. There's one back here. There's one over here, one up here, one here. We'll go through those as we do this breakdown. We've also got a lot of cover that's out there. So brush that's been exposed, debris that's been exposed, all kinds of good stuff there. We've got ramps. Now, if you've ever had a lake breakdown video with me or you've done one with me, boat ramps are a thing. People don't think they are, but they are. And you can actually get on a pattern with these boat ramps, especially if you take the ramp and then correlate it to something else. That typically tends to be a pretty good pattern that you can run at certain times of the year. So not only do we have that marked for you from a fishing standpoint, but also in the need of an emergency or something like that, you'll know exactly where all the ramps are on the lake. And then we also have rock. There's a lot of different rock on this lake. There's also a lot of different sand and dirt stuff. You know, I wouldn't know if it's sand, but just basically clay and stuff like that on the lake. But there are a lot of different hard spots and rocky spots that are really going to be the key areas you need to focus on for fishing. So let's go ahead and select all of this. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start. Let's just pick a spot. I'm going to pick this spot down here in this corner. And what we're going to do is we're going to start here and we're going to work our way all the way up and around and see what all we can find. Now, one thing that I do want to do here is we want to go out and we want to find the water at its lowest level because that's going to expose the most stuff. So when I do that, usually what I'll do is I'll find a shallow spot like right up here. You can tell this is a pretty shallow spot. Now, the image that we're looking at right now, I believe is from 2024. This is the image from 2024, which you can see that rock's a little bit exposed, but the one we were looking at a minute ago must have been a different year. Here we go. 2022 is a very clear image, and you can tell the water is way down. So we'll probably use that one. That's a really good image. 19, the water's down a little bit on that one. 17, you'll start to go through these and you'll see the kind of the water's up. So you can kind of tell, you know, the different fluctuations this lake has. Here, it's up quite a bit, and so a lot of this stuff is completely underwater. So let's go ahead and go back to 2022. Put that on right there, and then what we're going to do is we are going to hide the side thing. Now we got that hidden, and we're going to start breaking this thing down. So let's do it. Let's go back here. Start right here in this little corner back here underneath Highway 343, it looks like. And here, just basically marking a creek channel for you. There's a creek coming in. Now, these little areas right here, see where this little rocky spot is? This can be good on the inside. It can also be good on the outside. So it just depends on what they're relating to. They're relating to the shallow stuff or the deeper stuff, but definitely that little creek channel turn right in that area, that's going to be a pretty good hot spot. Moving on up, if you kind of look at the bank line, like I was saying, there's a lot of dirt, right? But then you'll hit certain spots where you get the rock and the debris. So right here is one of those spots. As we move up here, we've got rock here on both sides. You know, this could be a nice little point to fish around. This could be a good little cranking spot. Got a lot of good hard spot, hard area right there in that area. I'm having a hard time talking today. Hopefully I'll get better as this video goes on. As we move on up here, now this just looks like a primo point, right? And the reason why I say that is because there's got to be a river channel coming down here somewhere, right? You can kind of see it running through here. And as it comes down here, it's coming through this bridge. And basically, this is the last point before it starts to make a turn going back the other way. So this is going to be a primo point to fish. You definitely want to spend some time around here and check out that rock that's right there. So, right, you got nothing on the backside, but that front side, that bluffy side, or where that swing is going to be a really, really primo spot to look at. Now let's keep following up here. Come up here, we got a couple ramps. There's even another ramp that's way out here that looks like I missed. That's probably going to be underwater when the water's up. If I move it to 2023, that ramp's totally gone. This ramp we were looking at here, you know, it's gone as well. That rocky point, that rock's all underwater now. So it's just going to depend on the water levels, but I should have definitely marked that ramp because that could be something to take a look at. So if you're out there, you're watching this video, I missed a spot right here. Take a look right there. That's a nice little hard spot in the midst of a bunch of nothing. So definitely take a look at that. Now we're going to move on up the bank line here and see what else we can find. As we zoom in here, again, this is going to depend on the water level. When the water comes up, you've got a pretty decent little foundation here that you could go. You know, fish love to get attracted to that stuff. You've got a little boat ramp here that comes way down. You got some brush that people have put out here by their docks. So that's going to be good for crappie, but also for bass. The bass like to hang around that stuff too. And if you're paying close attention to this image right here, you can tell there's something right around in here. And this could be another brush pile too. A couple of hard spots right here maybe, but then right in here, this could be brush too. But because it just wasn't really obvious to me, I didn't mark it. And that stuff can also swing away. But again, I would probably take a look at that because it kind of looks like, and I can't, again, didn't want to mark it because I can't tell exactly, but it kind of looks like you got a brush pile here. You got something here, here, and here. It's almost like someone's marked brush piles around this little point that's right here. So go check that out. I'm going to pull this back. Now we're going to go over here and we're going to look at this point. Now this point looks awesome. It's got all the big rock around it and things like that. Just looks like a great point to fish. And then if you come over here, you got more of a chunkier rock area in here. You know they're going to be attracted to that. I mean, look what they have over here on this side. They got nothing. They come over here, they got all kinds of life, rock, all kinds of good stuff. So definitely looking in here. And then you can see throughout this little area where we just basically got different areas of rock. So different piles of rock. You got some back in here. You got some here. This looks like a really good point to fish. In fact, if you look real closely, there's actually a boat right there fishing that point. So that's always good. When you're doing the breakdown, you see a fisherman fishing it, you know, you probably got a pretty high percentage chance that's probably a good spot. We got some really good rock back in here too. And you may even want to check this. It might have some depth to it. With that rock being there, it might be a big drop or something like that, but definitely something to look at. As you get up in here, it gets really shallow again, but there's some rock up in here. That's really going to depend on water levels. You know, obviously here we're looking at the water way down, but even at normal pool, I think that rock's going to be pretty dicey. But you can tell there's these little pond areas, like this little pond here that you can check out. If I zoom in here, you'll see what I'm talking about. This is all that rock that's right there. Problem is, I don't know if we go up to 2023. Yeah, 2023, that rock is, but man, that's got to be pretty shallow up there. But still, in the springtime, that could be a good spot to look at. Let's move on up here, see what else we find. Another really good hard spot out here off this point. This whole area is just a big hard spot. So it's pretty cool. And then if you look out here, you got this little island that's out here, and around these islands, you've got these hard spots too. So this is the hard spot on the side of that island. You got some more rock and debris that's back here in the corner. And we'll talk about this other stuff as we swing around. So I don't want to go too far over there or I will get lost very easily. All right, so let's look here too. We got these hard spots. Another little hard spot off this one. Now this one's a different, and I don't know, I don't know why. I guess it's just, well, obviously I know why. It's just the landscape. But if you notice here, this is rock. This is like really fine rock or something like that. But then if you zoom in, here's where it gets a little chunkier right here in this area. So if I'm thinking, from a fishing standpoint, I'm probably going to hit like this spot here and then this spot right in here because that's where most of my rock is. Probably going to be where most of the fish are going to be attracted to. So maybe not directly off the point, but just off to the side of it is where you kind of see some good stuff there. Then we move back here. We just got some scattered rock that I marked for you guys. A little hard spot here that's interesting on these little humps. And then you can see the very tops of them. You can see it gets really, really hard. Right there, right there. Some more rock, some really good rock off that point too. You can see all these different hard spots. And I like this out here too. I like this because it's further away from the bank line for sure, but it's different. The color's different for some reason. You've got this white and then you got this clayer type looking dirt. So just having that transition there, plus having that rock there, that to me would be a pretty high percentage area to go find some stuff. And then if you're looking really closely, there's somewhat of a little ledge back here off of this one. It drops off. You've actually got a little rock that's out here too. So if you're fishing this, you can kind of fish this whole area right here. Then again, you come up here and this is just all hard spots, right? So you could just work that whole bank line if you wanted to. Lots of rock and stuff like that. I don't know if I would spend too much time on that bank line. I guess I would definitely try it and see. And if it was good, I'd just run down it. But I would probably focus on spots more like this, where you've got a really good hard spot here, and then you got a little transition area right here. So something's going on right in here. So that could be a really good spot. Maybe getting out here further off the bank line and fishing this little hard area out here. That could be good too. But there's all kinds of good rock and hard spots, different areas you could go check out. You could come over here, maybe they don't like that chunky stuff. Maybe they want it a little bit more smooth. Well, you got a good hard spot here off the back edge of that point. That could be really good too. So I'm going to back out here and just show you guys where I'm at. I'm about right here, still over here by Collins Ridge. We're going to keep moving up and see what else we find. And I'll try to speed up a little bit because it's going to take me forever to get through these, but you can see just these different rocky spots, right? And we've just got them all marked for you. These hard spots that are here, just really good hard spots going all along this whole area. And then you've got these different rock spots that are out here too. So imagine coming up here on your graph, you're looking at it, you're like, man, I have no idea where the hard stuff is. Well, if you have this on your graph and the waypoints are there, it's going to say, come over here. This is you got more rock in this area, or only focus right here in this area, things like that. So lots of good rock here. I like this little point that's right here. This looks juicy. You could even come out here. It looks like I missed a rocky spot here, but even on this little hump out here, this looks good too. Good rock out here too. Then you got some more hard spots that are going through over through here, just the rocky spots. I'm not going to point them all out. It'll take us forever, but you can see where I've got a mark for you. The key thing I wanted to focus on here was this little brush that's back here. So you got some brush piles that are back here by this dock, and you got some brush that's back in here too in the back of that cove. So something different to look at, if they're not up on these rocks. Got a little boat ramp here. You got a pretty good little island out here, and off the side of the island, you've got some really good rock. Same for here. This is interesting. These things always hold fish. Anytime you see a straight line of rock or a fence line or something like that, come up to it. Don't come up this way. Come up to it from the front and work your way down the path. Usually your bigger one's going to be right here at the front, and then they get smaller as you work your way up. So just something to think about. But anytime you see something like that, definitely go and check it out. Those can hold fish for sure. And if you're looking at, this area in particular, there's not a lot of rock, not a lot of cover in this area that they're going to be able to relate to. So relating to that ramp or relating to that rock that's right there, that's definitely going to be a higher percentage area. You got a little creek channel that comes back here. It's not, there's nothing really defined about it. So I don't know if I'd spend too much time on there. A couple ramps. There is some debris back here by this dock. So another hidden brush pile back here. You can go check out. There's some brush out here too. that you could see that they would relate to here. Now here they got a little bit of cover. This probably never goes underwater though. So they are going to relate to stuff like this because it's all they have in that area. So if they're there, they're going to relate to those areas. As we move back into here, we got a couple more ramps, some really good rocky spots back in here. One right here, one right here. You know, it's got, if you got some water flowing down through here, these could be good areas to go check out. All right, so I'm going to pull this back out. We're going to go around here. Now we're at Harold Park. So if you're wondering how far we've made it a little ways. So we're going to keep going and probably go for another 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll have to end the video, and we'll come back and do the rest of it. But back in here, this looks juicy. We got a ramp here. We got some debris that's out here off of this point. I don't know what that is, like a sunken boat or something like that. It almost looks like. It's hard to tell what it is, or a big refrigerator, or an old duck blind. I have no idea what it is, but some kind of debris. You know the fish are going to be attracted to it. And then there's just debris all over the place back here. You can see it's just scattered everywhere, but here's an old boat ramp. There's a ton of brush back here. So this looks pretty interesting to get back in there and just see what all's going back in there. That's just off that Harold Park, just right back in there. All right, I'll keep moving up in here and see what else we find. There is a little hard spot here. It's hidden. You know, there's not a lot of hard spots in this area. We just came through all the rocky stuff. Now we get out here, we don't find anything. And then just out of the blue, there's just one little hard spot right here. These can be magical spots. They can also be absolute time wasters and nothing there. So it's just going to be one of those things where you roll up to it. You either throw a few casts in there with the shaky head, a wobble head, maybe a crankbait, something like that. See if you get a bite. If you don't get a bite in 10, 15 minutes, bail out. Or if you've got live scope or side imaging, down imaging, you can go up there and hit it. If you see life, you stay. If you don't see life, you just move on. But these spots, for whatever reason, those little unique spots like that, those can really be key. All right, let's move on up here. We're going to come down. We're just south of 375. Got a little boat ramp here. Got some riprap and stuff around here around the road. Again, it's going to depend on the water levels. Pretty good rock over in here. So this point doesn't have much, but if you get back on the back side of this point, down closer towards the bridge, that's where you start finding your rockier spots. Then I'm going to move up here. We're going to swing around, pull back a little bit to show you guys where I'm at. So now I'm over here. And I'm going to zoom into this point right here. And as we come off here, again, another one of those really like unique spots, right? There's dirt everywhere. It's just mud bottom. There's not much going on. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, you just get this little rock pile. Well, guess where the fish are going to go? They have nowhere else to go except for to this rock pile. So that's where they're going to go. So very high percentage area there. They've got really good hard spots right in here too that they could be attracted to. A little ditch going through there. That's pretty cool looking. Little rock off of this here. And then I put rock here, but it's more concrete slabs or something like that. Now this definitely is going to have some fish around it. Looks like it should have fish around it. I don't know if it's rock, if it's an old boat dock, what it is, but it just looks like something that would have fish around it. And remember earlier when I was talking about those fence lines, and if you find a fence line, you definitely want to fish it. And then, you start at the front and you work your way back. Well, this looks like an old fence line that's here too. So if there are any fish in this area, they're going to pull up to this stuff. So again, come out here, be careful with the boat. It'll tear up your fiberglass, but work those fence posts all the way down, maybe to right here, but start at the front and work your way back down. Your bigger bites are going to come right in there. All right, I'm going to zoom back. And I'm going to keep moving up here to the top up here and see what else we can find. So we got some more rock right in here. This is unique, right? Because it's sandy, like gravelly stuff. But then right here, you get into that really, really hard area. So definitely a good spot to go look at. You do have some debris and stuff that's up here. If we pull up here, you'll see this. I don't know what this is. Maybe just a rock, an isolated rock or something, not sure. And then if you get out here off this point, you call it a point, a hump, not sure what you want to call it. But clearly you've got a creek channel swing or a river channel swing or something coming down through here. You can just tell by looking at it, here's your deeper spot over here where the rock is. So you got a little swing here. Well, this little point right in here could be really, really good. So definitely check that out. Got some hard spots through here, some more rock up in here. This is just that isolated stuff. So we just got it all marked for you. Really good hard spot right in here. Really, really good. That could be interesting with the crankbait for sure. And then I'm going to come up here. We're going to make our way back down to here, and we'll call it at the end of this little pocket or cove or whatever you want to call it that we're up in. But I'll just point out all this stuff to you real quick, and we'll call it a day. But as we move in here, some really good debris right here. These look like those fish stakes or whatever they're called. Those stakes they'll put in the ground for fish attractors. This could be an interesting little spot to go check out. You got those little fish attractors, debris. You got some rock in here. You got some hard spots. Got another hard spot up in here. Really good rock over here off the edge of this little hump or this island that's out here. More hard spots up in here. You can see we've got them all marked. Here's some more brush up in here. So if we pull up here, you can see there's brush in here. There's brush there. I don't see the brush right there. It may have washed away from our image. It might be down here now, but that brush was right there off the edge of that spot. So I'm not sure what happened there, but go check it out and scan around because there used to be brush there. So it's got to be somewhere right there in that area. Right here, again, good spot, right? You got a channel coming down. And then here you got a really good hard spot. So you know it's probably rubbing up against this. This is probably going to give you a little bit better depth. It's just going to be a really good spot for you to go and try to find some fish. And I don't know if the water comes up over that. If it does, yeah, you can come out here and really fish around that and have some success. So let's go back to 2022. We do have a roadbed that's up here that's hidden. I don't know how far in here it goes. It looks like it may even go all the way down here. It's just hard to tell. And then it just kind of disappears. But a couple of things here. And a couple things looks like I missed. One, you got some brush that's out here for sure. So check out this little point here. I don't know what this stuff is right here, but that looks like a Christmas tree. That definitely looks like some brush that's right there too. So really good spot there. If you're watching the video, you get a freebie there. Of course, when I miss them, I don't like missing them, but I definitely miss that. And then we have the roadbed that comes through here. Hard spots back there. Riprap and rock coming through here. These are always good little pinch points to fish around. I'm going to go ahead and mark that right there because that's driving me bazonkers that I missed that. We got that marked now. Now we're going to move on down, see some more. There's the brush we talked about earlier. You get in here around this area in here, and there's just all kinds of junk in here. There's debris everywhere. There's rock. This image actually doesn't show all the debris that we saw last time. Let's see if I can get a better one in here. Here's more. Here's the debris and the rock. More rock out here, more debris and stuff like that. So definitely just a lot of stuff. I would definitely come up in here and look. You can see it's just scattered everywhere, all in here. So they've dumped a lot of stuff in here throughout the years. Like here, I can't see the debris anymore, so it must just get washed out. So as they put it in here, it gets washed out. There may still be some back in here, but just go in here and just scan around this little area. This looks interesting. You got a creek coming through here. That's probably why all that debris has been washed out. Got a creek coming through here. You've also got, looks like a foundation that's out here. I might not have had this image last time because I'm finding more stuff on this video than I found last time, which is awesome. Got a foundation there. You got a little rock that's out here as well. So go ahead and put that rock right there. So this looks good. Looks healthy for sure. Come back in here, fish these 2 points, look down in here, back in the cove. All right, moving up here, we got some more rock. Got riprap back here. This is a nice little rocky spot right here. Very interesting. Good little transition area too. Got some rock back in here too. Got a lot of brush that's back here. Debris, brush, rocks. There's not a lot going on back in here per se. You know, it's kind of nasty, but maybe just getting out here a little more offshore and checking out some of this stuff, you know, you could end up having some success there. We talked about the rock here, so we'll skip that. We're going to come back around. This is that little bluff wall. You got a little rocky spot there, and that's where we're going to stop at. We're going to stop right there. Actually, we're not. We're going to go up here, and we're going to finish this thing. So we got some hard spots up here. Now, this looks interesting. This could be a ridge, an underwater ridge. It could be nothing. It could just be a big opening. There's no telling, but I would definitely look in this area right here. You got a narrower area here. You've got good rocky spots, good hard spots. Definitely something to look at. You got some ramps here. Bunch of debris that's back in this area back in here. People just dumped a bunch of stuff, brush and stuff like that. More rock back in here. Another really good, interesting area. If you're back here and you're like, man, where do I fish? Obviously, I'm going to go fish up here by the debris, the rock up in there. But I'm probably going to swing down here too because this is unique. It's different than everything else around it. So I'm definitely going to fish right in here and see if there's anything relating to that area. Got some more rock, just random rock there, rock back here, some brush that's back here. This time it's still there, so they must have weighted it down pretty good. Some really good brush piles that are back in there. And it's right off the edge of that creek channel too, which could be good. Some more hard spots, more rock. Got another road bed that comes through here. You can see it. So just depending on the water level, that road bed could come into play at some point in time. We're going to move up here. We got more hard spots. We come back in, and now we're going to go back down. And we're going to finish this side. We've got this point looks good too. Notice how this creek comes here. You probably got a creek coming through here. And then they slam up against this bluff wall right here, which that could be good in the wintertime. But I've talked about it a lot. You know, these bluff walls, when you get on the ends of them, either the beginning or the end, that typically is where I have the most success. So right here around this rock, right where that bluff wall ends and starts to taper off, definitely good areas right there. Right there where it says the dock. All right, so we'll finish right there at the dock. And when I come back next time, we're going to start right there at the dock. We're going to work our way down, and we're going to continue to work our way down this way and then all the way back up to where we started. So if you haven't yet, please go out and check out our website, simplisticfishing.com. We've got all these waypoints out there available for you. We put them on an SD card. You take them, you put them into your graph, and voila, you're off to the races out there on the water. So definitely go check it out, simplisticfishing.com. And when I come back next time, we'll continue this midsection. Till next time, hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.